I'm so excited. Yay. Can you hear me,
I
Queen? Hi, baby. You didn't
and
have the.
forgot to put in my.
You
I
said
forgot to
what?
put in my head. I forgot to put in my AirPods.
You are so. Baby, look, you is killing with this makeup, honey. Baby, look, I said you have to be the Nubian queen that you are today. Baby, and I'm sitting up here with my hair, my real hair, because, baby, you know I like to be unbelievable, okay?
Listen, I'm tired. I had to do something to
come, come on, sis. Yeah, come on, Queen. Look,
relax.
you Queen, we about to honor you today because you look gorgeous. Look, see people online saying you are beautiful. Okay, look,
Thank
sis,
you guys.
don't
Hi,
do me.
everybody.
So before I do get started, I'm going to introduce myself before I introduce you. My name is Chastity Buckley. I'm the host of Midnight R&B Edition, Homage and Midnight Love BET, where I give all my flowers to all my R&B artists, singers, songwriters, and producers, and everybody who has changed the game in R&B history, Billboard history, and everything that is because. And yeah, I'm here with a 20 plus year veteran.
Ooh.
Baby, yes, the Grammy Award. You know, I had to put that out there for you, ma'am. Singer,
Mm.
songwriter, educator. I mean, a speaker of all speakers, which I admire you so much. The one and only Keli Nicole Price. Thank you so much.
Hi. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Queen. You know, I had to give you, baby. I'm giving you every piece of title that you have. So I want to make sure I get this right because I said, baby, she ain't gonna kill me like she did the other day. I said, hold up. Hold up.
Did I really? I just enjoy being thorough.
Well, you know what? I respect that because it makes sure that, your credentials are met, and not even that because you met all those credentials. I had to
Yeah.
make
I
sure you had
worked
to get
really
everything.
hard. I worked really hard for
Oh,
them.
okay. You see my friend Joe, he said the stripes, baby. I said, okay, look, baby, the stripes, baby. She wasn't going to let me get out the hook doing all that. No, ma'am. Look, thank you so much, sis.
No, thank you. Thank you for being the queen that you are. I really do appreciate and respect you. And thank you for having me today.
Oh, well, yes, sis. Well, today we're having you because today is the day that the
The
one and only
the Lord has
Beyonce's,
made.
yes, the Lord has made, yes, sis, and the queen herself, Miss Beyonce's sophomore album, B-Day. Oh, my God. 15 years today. Mm.
Wow. My children
2006.
were babies.
Yeah,
My children were
wow.
like my children are 21 and 20 now.
Wow. That is crazy. I'm older than your kids. That's crazy.
They
Look.
that's good. That's good that you older.
Girl, baby, look, I call it aging gracefully,
That
though.
mean you know some things.
Baby, know some things,
You
seen some
done
things,
some things.
baby, done some things, and seen all everywhere. Thank you, sis,
Right.
so much. Wow. I mean, I can't believe today is the 15th anniversary of Beyonce's sophomore
That's
album, B-Day.
amazing.
Something that you were a part of. How do you feel today is like the anniversary?
Um, really grateful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy to you don't necessarily go into life or go into a career knowing what's
Yeah,
going to happen. You
yeah,
can hope, you can
yeah.
wish, but I never saw a placement on Beyonce. I believe in myself to the core. I never saw a placement with Beyonce, but life does what it's supposed to do, and it's supposed to
Amen.
do it whether whether you're ready or not. It's going to happen. Show
That's right.
up or not. So I
Okay,
just try to show up. We
baby.
were
Yeah.
in place and we
Mm.
did what we could do.
Baby, you
I'm
showed.
really grateful.
Oh, well, you showed up and showed out because, baby, you got the lead single when the, the single dropped.
How
So when you
crazy is that?
crazy because it was amazing. That's why. Look.
We were like, oh, we did that. We did it.
Aww.
We did it.
Yes, and I have to shout out Delisha Thomas too because for her to go
Yes.
there songwriting with you, I thought that was so dope for you queens to come out and just really put your pen to work for Beyonce and for Rodney to do that amazing production. He's my number one
Yeah.
producer of all time, my personal opinion. But
Yeah.
for y'all to come up with that track and then, and I know you're going to tell the story about it, but for y'all to dominate that song back in '06 when I was a senior in high school, that just really showed that y'all were making way for her at that time. And I'm super proud of you.
You know what it was like? Well, can we get into the song?
Yeah.
That's how that.
Before we do
Okay.
get started, I
Okay.
want to ask you because I usually kind of do a mental check in on my
Go
guests.
for it.
I wanted to ask you how have you been dealing since the pandemic has happened and everything?
I have become the most amazing introvert ever.
Wow. What?
I'm an introvert, but now I've like, no, this is a superpower. I realized like I take all the time that I need for myself and I give what I can. And I've created some real boundaries during the pandemic because I couldn't deal with a lot of stuff because people were dying every day and getting
Yeah.
sick. And, you know, then the news because we were dealing with everything at once.
Yeah.
And also last year, my son went to Afghanistan for a few months.
Oh.
Thankfully, he's home. That's why I say a few months, but
Okay.
he's home. But it was just a lot during the pandemic. It was a
Yeah.
lot, and I
Yeah.
just really realized that my superpower is me.
Mm.
Like, so do what you got to do for yourself, and
Yeah.
I did, and I do. But definitely a lot of healing. I think a lot of people. There's a lot of self discovery
Come
for
on.
almost everybody,
Yes.
good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing well.
Oh, well, you
I'm
know
doing
what?
well.
Well, I'm super proud of you, sis. And I had a conversation with Dave Boy Lindsay. He wanted me to tell you hello. So if he
Hi,
ever,
yes.
yes,
Oh, I gotta call him. Okay,
yes, he's a
let me
sweetheart.
gotta
Yeah,
write it down.
I had talked to him like a week ago, so he's just a sweetheart. But he wanted me to tell you hello. He was just super proud of you and just congratulate you for today. Um,
Yes,
definitely for sure.
he's
You
such
know,
a Redskins fan, by the way.
he is. Oh no, man, we don't do that. Look,
Huge, huge.
seriously? Oh my god! Oh no. Mm-mm. No, ma'am, no. Well, I definitely wanted to give you that and just congratulate you on everything. But, you know,
Thank
before we
you.
do get started, I wanted to talk to you about who you are as a person because I know a lot of people know you from songwriting, but you are a singer as well. And I want to get to know that side of you first before we do get into your songwriting bag and everything else. So I know
Okay.
you are from Virginia, from the VA, baby. Y'all is just taking over and dominating. You
Look,
and I wanted to ask you, how was it like growing up there, and how was it the influence of R&B music in your life, and not even that, who were some influences that you grew up listening to at the time when you were growing up?
okay, so this is gonna sound really, no, it's gonna sound like everyone else. I grew up in church.
Yeah.
But my parents did not allow us to listen to anything but gospel music.
Yeah.
So and my dad is a singer, my mom is a singer. So me and my dad used to have the solos. Like if it was a duet, it was me and my dad in church.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was one of the choir directors, musicians. She plays bass. My mother is one of the engineers for the church. She runs the system.
Mm-hmm.
So like I got all of that, and then I just kept feeling like it's something else. Like I want to know more. And I would hear my grandmother play stuff in the car. She would play stuff at home, but we couldn't really go upstairs to listen to it. But when my
Right.
parents weren't around, we did.
Right.
Uh, and I didn't know who I was listening to. I didn't remember all of the words, but I remembered that I loved these melodies and I could sing them and I
Right.
wanted to harmonize with them. And um, at one point, when I think I was 16, 15 or 16, it was my senior year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine who knows Missy
Mm.
um, told her about me. And on a Christmas night, this gonna sound storybook. Christmas night, it was raining outside. She was in like a red convertible, something. It was beautiful. It was more rich than I could,
Hmm.
I'd ever seen. So she
Yeah.
pulls up in this red, fast car while it's raining on a Christmas night. And I get in the car and she asked me to sing for her, and I did. I don't remember what I sung, but I remember her saying, um, when when I'm ready, I'm gonna call you. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay. So the next year, I was 17. I was it was my freshman year at Elizabeth City State HBCU.
Hey,
Um,
Wiley College, honey. Look, I'm a graduate of Wiley College, so baby, HBCUs all over.
really?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
My daughter went to Clark,
Clark Atlanta.
and
Oh
she's considering
wow.
another one now. She's considering a different one because she doesn't want to go. So
Oh okay.
back to Clark, but she wants to still stick in the HBCU family. Um,
Yes.
so I was at Elizabeth City in my dorm room, really not feeling connected to school at all, really feeling
Mm,
like there has to be something more again.
right.
And she called me and she was like, are you ready? Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So the next semester did not see me, okay? Elizabeth City did
Wow.
not see me after my first semester. I started traveling with Missy full time. And then she knew I could sing, but she didn't know I could write. And I kind of like, hey, you want to listen to a song I wrote? And she listened to it. She like, you didn't write that. I was
Oh,
like, I did though. So she started like leaving me in the studio a
right.
little more to see what I was capable of. And I started to arrange a few songs. I ghost wrote a little bit. And I sang a whole lot.
Mm.
And I was on
Mm.
I was on a good deal of records back in the day. I wrote Little Mo's first single,
Oh, wow.
5 minutes. That was for the Why Do Fools Fall in Love soundtrack.
Yeah, I did see you were a songwriter on that, on the
Yeah,
Wonderful. Yeah, I did see that. Shout out to you on
and
that.
I was like an arranger and singer on it. I don't think I got proper credit for all of that, but I did a lot of work on that record. But that was kind of where it started with Missy and Tim. But before that, I was just like a church girl. I don't
Oh,
know a lot about a lot of stuff,
right,
but
right.
I just knew that like music was drawing me. Like I wanted to know what this thing was and how far can
Yeah,
it go, and
yeah,
like because I'm drawn to it, I want to know what can I contribute.
right.
So I just tried to figure it out, and I'm still figuring it out because it's so much more that there is to do.
Right. Well,
Um,
yeah, definitely for sure. I know. Well, you keep going.
oh no, go ahead, girl.
No, I was just gonna say, like, since before we did, and I'm happy you kind of pointed that out because I think a lot of people don't give you proper recognition of what you contribute in the late '90s. And I
Yeah.
know for me, I was on a guest spot on '90s R&B University. We shouted you out, girl.
I
So
know. Thank you so much. You sent it to
yes.
me.
And shout out to my girl Shan. She's on the live right now. That's her
Hi,
show.
Shan.
And we definitely did honor you because we didn't even know, well, I knew a couple months ago that you were the person that did Make It Hot. So I wanted you to talk about that. About that, how did you like come with that? But not even just that, like how did you get on the track? And I know you said you did almost everything. So how did that get placed to Nicole, and how did you get a part of that process when you did her first single?
I'm sure there's some information that I don't have.
Mm,
Let me start with that.
okay.
But the information that I do have, that is what I will speak on. What I know for sure happened
Mm-hmm.
was I sung the song all the way through. Missy, like, she wrote it and then she left me in the studio. We were in Virginia Beach. What is the studio? Master Sound Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And I recorded the song all the way through, but I'm not the artist. I'm just the singer. I'm
The
just,
singer.
working with her. So I didn't know what was happening with it. We ended up traveling to New York over a period of time, and Nicole was singing it. I heard her
Mm.
voice on it. And while I was at the studio, they asked me, could I come back in and re-sing the song again to match her vocal? But
Mm.
she was matching my vocal. Like,
Mm.
so it already sounded similar to me,
Mm-hmm.
like dead on. Like I could finish the
Wow.
runs because everything was the same.
Mm-hmm.
But she couldn't hit the low notes. They weren't
Oh.
they weren't as like they weren't as cushy, I guess you could call it.
Right, right.
But they weren't as sweet as my lows.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nicole can sing, but it was certain parts of that song that she couldn't, and obviously it was certain parts of that song that they didn't care. They kept my
Mm.
voice on 75, 85% of that song.
Ooh.
The
Mm-mm-mm.
only thing I didn't sing was she did the my man she don't, right, and
Come
then
on.
mine was call me anymore, and I think that's the wrong key because that's a little low. But so then all of the background vocals, somebody's gonna tell me if it's the right key or not.
Oh.
Just tell me. Um, my, that might be it actually. My man, I got what you want. Anyway, I'm gonna go
Body
to the
that
point,
honey.
right? So all of the backgrounds are me.
Wow.
And then from the middle to the end of the song is all
Mm.
me. The middle of the second verse, all the way through the song is me. So every single low note on the first verse, some of the endings, all of the backgrounds, and the whole bridge.
Right. That's
So that
crazy.
felt like my song, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, yes, sis. Because I feel like, and the reason why I pointed that out because I think that's a really amazing when you talk about that. that song for you because I feel like that's your first big hit. I think is that
I
correct?
think so too.
Right.
I
And
don't have
even
any plaques for it though.
right, sis, because you need that plaque. I know you do. You need that plaque. Because I mean, for me, back in when I was growing up in Texas, that was a huge song back in the day. And I remember back in the South, we were playing it in Texas like crazy. So when that song came out, you know, we were hearing those vocals and killing it. But it was just to the point is like, if you sing the song, you need recognition for it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, it's so dope that you tell the story about it, you know, what really happened. And I'm saying, you know, we know a lot of stuff that goes on in the music industry, you know, how the business is ran and certain things like that.
Yeah.
But I think with your story, you talking about it, it goes to show you that people that really know their music and know their song and know their voice, you're showing people at the end of the day is make sure that you get your credit where credit is due, you know?
Well, yeah, because I didn't know business. I was
Right.
a church girl that went straight into like this other world, and it
Mm-hmm.
was so much fun. I was just happy to be around.
Right, right,
I was
right.
singing and writing and arranging and vocal producing
Mm-hmm.
and just whatever and traveling, and I was just so happy. I was
Wow.
17.
Yeah.
You
And you
know,
were
it's
there
like,
with Leah and stuff. It's like,
yeah, it's like this is life. You know, I'm
mm-hmm.
taken care of. Everything
Yeah.
is paid for, so I didn't have to worry about money. But when I got home, I was still living with my mama. Like I was still broke.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
coming home in this nice, town car or a limo or, SUV or whatever. I'm coming home looking like I got money, but I'm sleeping in a twin bed.
Mm.
Okay. Like,
Wow.
and
Mm.
and though I was young, it just still felt like, okay, how are they getting paid? How are they doing this?
Yep.
And somebody, actually it was Mocha's manager at the time,
Mm-hmm.
talked to me about business and was like, you should be getting paid for your vocals. And
Mm.
I was like, I can get paid for singing. Because you don't get paid in
Mm.
church. Hello?
Right.
Anybody? Somebody? You don't get paid in church for
Mm.
singing. So I was like, if I can get paid for this, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
So I was told how to get paid for my work. And I joined all of the unions
Mm-hmm.
and I started to get paid, but people were not very happy with that.
Mm. That's
Because
crazy.
I got a lot of money for just vocals. I got a
Mm.
lot of money for vocals, and it,
And
it
you
messed up some
should.
budgets. It messed up some budgets, and I was actually fired not too far after that.
Child, you did the right thing.
Yeah,
You took up for yourself because I feel
I
like this is,
did.
and I'm so proud that you're talking about this story because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that music is a music business and they just think about the
Yeah,
music and not the business, you
and
know?
somebody making money.
Of
There's
your
money
voice. Of
somewhere.
your voice.
Yes.
Mm.
So it's like at the very least, I need to try to get that. I'm not trying to get yours. I'm not trying to get
You
yours from
just
you.
get
I'm just
yours.
trying to get mine.
That's
That's
right.
all. And life would be a much easier if people understood that part of it, that it is
Yeah,
a business.
that's right.
Like, and the first rule of it is you're gonna get screwed the first time because you
Yeah,
gotta learn. You just have to.
yeah,
It is the worst part of it, but it's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah.
You're gonna get burned just a little bit. It's going
Hmm.
to sting, but you're not gonna die.
Come on, preach, preach, sis,
Did you
preach.
die though?
No.
You're gonna be fine.
Right,
So I
right.
mean, I had to learn. Sorry, my thing keeps going down.
Oh no, you're good, sis.
Um. So yeah, everybody needs to. If there's one thing I could say about that part of it, like
Hmm.
it is definitely. I agree. It's definitely a
Right.
business. And it's a hard one. It's a hard
Yeah.
one to stay in, but drive and intuition
Hmm.
and love, like real passion for
Come
this,
on.
it'll keep you going. It'll keep you going through some ugly stuff,
Right, right.
Yeah, because there's no hate. It's just like questions at this
Hmm.
point. Like,
That's it.
so why didn't y'all do it? Like, I want to know what was happening too, because I'm
Hmm.
sure there was some stuff happening in the back,
Right,
in the bigger offices that I wasn't, in meetings that I wasn't a part of.
right.
They don't care about me. They
Mm.
weren't caring about me because I wasn't the artist. They
Yeah.
cared about Nicole and Missy.
Mm.
So nobody was fighting for me. And
Mm.
that's another part of it. Like, don't go in that thing by yourself.
Come on, okay?
Cause you gonna get you gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm happy you said that
Especially as a
because
woman.
as a woman especially because I think
Yeah.
for a lot of us we don't understand when we're in the industry or trying to get in the industry. The thing about is everybody is so excited about being famous and stuff. And me and Ryan Tucker, we talked about that on our episode with him when I did the City High anniversary, and we talked about, you know, you need to learn the business before you get involved, because like I said, when you're in times where you're trying to get to know and learn and stuff like that, and I know everybody is hungry and fighting for that, but at the same time, it's always something behind the scenes that you have to learn what's going on too, because you can be the greatest singer, but the thing about it was that the business can screw you over, and it's just really crazy, you know?
And it will, because that machine is way bigger than you.
Okay, baby. Okay, I be trying to tell these folks,
like,
it's a machine.
You can fight it. You can fight it, but you got to have your shit together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you have to be willing to lose. If making your point is the point, then make your point. Right. But I didn't want to ruffle feathers. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I still don't.
Right.
I just really wanted to get what I felt like I deserved, because I've been working, like leaving home, getting on planes, traveling, staying in hotels that I'm not paying for this stuff. So y'all got money.
Right. Okay. Child, look.
And I'm doing, you know, half of the work on that record. And I was going back and forth to studios between Missy and Tim. And that's when I did Talking on the Phone.
Yeah.
Which just
congratulations. Yes. Congratulations on that. And that was your first solo record, correct?
That was my first solo record, and my name was spelled wrong.
Right. You know, I seen the child in the credits. I said they need to stop. They need to stop.
Because it's always been, you know, it's two Keli Prices, and it's me and her. There are a lot of Keli Prices, actually, we found.
Oh, wow. But you're the one with the I, not the Y.
But, right. And I've never had a Y in my name, but nobody cares. You know, again, it's one of those things. It's a machine. As soon as you hear Keli Price, you automatically go to whomever. You're not asking how to spell the name. You know, nobody asked if I even wanted to use Keli Price, because I should not have ever been able to use that name. It was at one point our checks were going back and forth, and Keli got some really nice checks. Keli,
you is so crazy. Well, you know, yes, but I feel you on that. I feel you on that so much, because I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on that. You know, your first solo record being out now on streaming platforms, because I know it's been so many years because of the it was in what, 98, 99? Because that was in the late 90s. Because I remember Tim and Magoo back in the day, y'all really were running things. And that's why it was so dope at the time. And that's why when I look back on a lot of stuff, I remember Missy and Timbaland was really running things, I think, after that One in a Million album, you know? And y'all being from Virginia, you know, y'all making waves. You, Missy, Tim, it was just like pretty much a family, what I looked and seen for the dynamic from y'all. And y'all making waves in Virginia, you know? And seeing that now back in the late 90s, so did you, like, what made you become, like, a songwriter? Like, were you already doing the songwriting with Missy with the Make It Hot, or did you just already started getting into that realm?
I started, like I said, the first single that I actually wrote on was Little Mo's 5 Minutes.
The 5 Minutes one, okay.
And which is on the Why Do Fools Fall in Love soundtrack. That was the first album that I was, like, a part of almost every song. At least half of that record. I did something on every song. And I was just kind of learning. And at some point when I wasn't on the road anymore with Missy, I built relationships over time.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a matter of, you know, people calling and asking me to come and work with them. And I was able to learn more.
Right.
And kind of perfect something that I didn't even know I could, you know, do for a living.
Oh, well, sis, I'm happy you did that, because I think what I'm learning from your story is, even though things had happened to you negatively, you turn them into a positive by making relationships and building yourself in the industry. That even though, you know, sometimes, you know, like you said, we can get screwed, you can always make that into a positive and make sure for yourself that you're secure and get your you know, your success, you know? So,
as you're old.
Facts, strongly facts. So, you know, doing that, like, so, okay, you're in the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s. So at that time, you're doing mostly with, you know, building relationships and stuff like that. How did you get in the process of being a part of the B-Day album? Because I love how you were talking about y'all were in this writing camp with Roddy Jerkins. And I think the story is so amazing, because I didn't know about writing camps until, like, in 2020 when Babyface did that. I ain't never even heard of that.
Really?
No. And I wanted to know, like, how did you, like, get with Roddy Jerkins at the time in the 2000s, and how did you get prepared for the process of the B-Day album?
So I just had my children 99 and 2000, and I stopped working for a few years. And I didn't really feel great about going back into it because of all that had happened with the
Yeah.
Missy and Nicole and the Timberland projects. Like, I just felt like I wasn't being recognized.
Right, right, right.
But I also felt like I can't, I tried to work a 9 to 5. I
Mm.
tried really hard. And it was a good one, a cushy one. Like,
Come on.
I could bring the kids to work. I had my
Oh,
own office.
wow.
I was just doing work orders. Like, I was getting paid very well at the time. And I was so unsatisfied. I was so
Mm.
dissatisfied with my life, and I didn't feel like I was doing anything special, and I knew I was meant to do something special. So I moved to Atlanta, and I met Kevin Wales. He managed me at the time. For a few years, I was going back and forth between Atlanta and LA, just trying to like get back into the swing of things. So
Right.
I had a deal with Stevie J and
What?
Jay Brown, who is like Jay-Z's partner.
Uh-huh.
Um, I had a deal with both of them, publishing deal
Mm.
to develop my writing more. I had a deal with Elektra.
Mm.
And then we just kept moving forward. And eventually, Kevin actually got me in with Rodney Jerkins, and Rodney signed me.
Mm.
So I went through all of those different publishing deals, ended up with Rodney, and that ended up being one of the best things because Rodney is a producer. He's not just a machine, you know?
Come on.
So you're in with him.
Yeah.
And then to work with to work with LaShawn, it's just
Oh,
like,
rest in peace to LaShawn. You know, this the day, I think the day before he passed away. So,
yeah.
big blow
It
to the
was
industry.
how amazing. It was
Mm.
such an honor. Like, I literally just sat there, and for a long time I was trying to write like them. I was like, oh, they want me to latch on to what they're doing.
Right.
And they would always say, like, no, I signed you so that you could sound like whatever you sent me. So don't
Mm.
do this. And I was like, but this is you guys. I want to sound like Brandy too. I
Come,
want to write like that.
come
I
on,
want to,
sis.
like, what are your arrangements at? And they're like, no, we want you to do what you
Oh,
do. And I was
wow.
like,
Mm.
what's that? Like, I literally had to like relearn life. But so we would have like writing sessions in his home in Florida. Um, and he would like kind of rotate writers in and out. And at some
Mm.
point, he decided to do a writers camp in Jersey. And we all, for 30 days, lived, breathed, ate, slept, everything at the
Mm.
studio. And we recorded, we actually recorded Deja Vu like in pajamas
What?
in a cubicle. We weren't even in the big room. We were like in a corner
Wow.
writing this song. Yeah, I have the demo, by the way.
Mm. Mm. You got the demo. We can play it. Look.
Yeah, I
Come
think
on,
so.
sis. Come
Let's
on,
see.
sis. You know, I'm excited to hear about this because, so was this you and Delisha, y'all literally wearing y'all pajamas on the floor writing Deja Vu, like the whole record?
Yeah,
Mm, mm, mm,
and you
mm.
can hear. I'll skip through it a little bit, but you can actually hear Rodney a little bit. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can. Hold on.
You'll hear Rodney. It's funny. This was the demo.
What? I can hear him.
So that's how it started. And listen to how much Delisha sounds like Beyonce.
What? Oh, so wait a minute. Is this Delisha on the first verse?
This is Delicia's doing the leads. I'm doing background.
Oh, okay. Girl. What?
Yeah. And then these are my backgrounds.
Girl, I'm done with you and her. What? Girl, what the hell?
That was such a good time.
Baby, let me give you your flowers for that, because, girl, she sounds like,
She sounds like her, right?
yes. Oh, Beyonce followed that whole blueprint.
We didn't even know. And we did this song. Writers Camp was a little, almost about 6 months before we even heard it on the radio.
So did y'all get the beat before y'all started writing?
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing about Delisha can sing every melody known to mankind. She creates so brilliantly and so fast, like so quickly. I'm very intricate. I'm very in my head.
Yeah.
She's just ready to be creative. She's just ready to go. So we recorded, I want to say it was about 50 different melody ideas.
What?
And then Rodney came in and said, okay, this one is the verse, this is the this is the that, this is the that, and this is the song. Now create the words. We were like, oh, this is how, like, I'd never written with Rodney before. I didn't even know this was the process, because I'm more of I'm creating the melody and the lyrics at the same time.
Oh, so baby, you like a producer slash
So
singer,
I'm like, yeah,
songwriter.
right, which takes a little more time and a lot more peace. Like, I can't have a bunch of people around. I need to have a minute. But Delisha was like, okay, give me another track. She's sing another melody. Give me another track. Sing another melody. I'm like, how are y'all doing this? How? And people do that now. Like, it's a really, I didn't know that was, again, I didn't know that was a way of writing. This was our learning period.
Right.
But when I saw that was a thing, it's become the most amazing thing. I still can't do it. I probably have to be a little high and a little drunk.
A little drunk, okay.
In order to be that free to just like do a bunch of melodies, because I'm a perfectionist to the point, like, you know, you want people to hear what sounds really good.
Right.
But you have to be in that part of the process, you have to be ready to make a lot of mistakes. She didn't make a lot of mistakes, but she was willing to, if she had to, for the sake of the melody. And she went through all those melodies. Again, Rodney came in, put the song, like, pieced it together. That sounds like a hook. That sounds like a verse. That sounds like a B section.
Oh, wow.
That is amazing to me. So the song was created, and that was the first version of it. And then the next time we heard it was on the radio with Beyonce.
Wow. 6 months later. So when you found out, did you like, how did you find out that it was on the radio? Was it like, because I know you said it was at your grandma's kitchen. You found out.
Yeah.
So is that how you found out? Like, Rodney didn't call you and say, hey, you know, this is going to be on the album that Beyonce's creating? Or like you just was really just surprised when you heard it on the radio?
We were prefaced with the song, because we wrote that song and the Tamia records. We wrote that during the camp. The Tamia records were Can't Get Enough, and
you got a whole line dance off that song,
it's
honey.
Okay, and it's still going.
Come on.
More touch.
Yes.
But what was I saying? Why I got stuck on the dance?
Oh, no, you're good. No, you're good. Oh, sis, me too, because, you know, I'm from Texas. So definitely, for sure, they do it in Texas all the time. But no, you were just talking about how did you find out with Rodney and stuff like that and everything?
So again, I'll say that I'm sure there are some things that I don't know. But what I do know is that there was a really big illness in their family.
Oh, okay.
And there was some business not being taken care of at the time, which I understand, because again, he's not a machine. This is a family business. This is a team of people, you know, a group. So, and they all were involved in this situation with their family member. So I remember when I called Rodney's father, Bishop Jerkins, and he told me what was going on, and he said, we'll try to handle it as soon as we can. But, you know, stuff was happening,
yeah,
in everybody's lives in different ways. And the machine that is Beyonce's team, they're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
they gotta do.
Yeah.
So,
Matthew don't play.
Right. So it wasn't their job to tell me, but the people who were supposed to tell me, they were dealing with their own stuff at the time. So, you know, what happened. And we eventually got all the business straight, because that wasn't straight. That wasn't together. When we released the song, it wasn't together. And I will tell you something that nobody knows. Do you remember the movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington and Paula? What's her name?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly. Yep.
So Deja Vu was supposed to be on that movie.
What?
We got the paperwork.
Girl, Girl, I'm done. Exclusive, girl. What?
We got the paperwork for that, and it was like it was for a little over $1,000, $100,000. Sorry,
Oh, girl, I'm about to say not no thousand.
for
That's a
that. No,
lot.
not
Look.
1,000. Right. Add a few zeros,
Add some
Kelly.
few
Calm
more
down.
zeros on there,
All
right?
right. But and when we started to
Mhm.
do the paperwork, we still hadn't gotten our percentages correct. We still the splits were
Oh.
not right yet.
Mm.
People hadn't signed off on stuff. I didn't even know how to do that part of the business. I'm
Mhm.
like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with release forms and
Mhm.
what is it? The for mechanicals, who do I send this to?
Right.
Why am I receiving this email? How do they know my email? Like, how do
Yeah.
they even know how to reach me or anything? ABC, NBC, like all of these different. I had a bunch of stuff, and
Wow.
I ended up having to hire somebody, but we ended up getting everything straight. And it
Mhm.
was after Thanksgiving, which was after the release of the movie, which meant that we did not get that placement. And I was like, that would have been my
Oh,
first like big
movie.
movie.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. And girl, you know Denzel. I
But
love me some Denzel, honey. Yes, ma'am. That would have been so dope because the song and everything
yeah,
for what it did. I
I was
mean,
so sad about it. But we eventually got it right. You know, like I said,
right.
everybody was dealing with a
Personal.
whole different uh set of issues and
Yeah.
dealings and all of that stuff. So I understand why it happened, but
Mhm.
it was not fun.
Right, and I hate that because I love what you're telling is a lot of stuff that people need to understand. It is a business before the music, and even though
Yeah.
stuff is getting done, and you're having your writing credits, you and Delisha having your writing credits on it, you're not knowing a lot of stuff that's going on in the making of this, or not even just that in the
Yeah.
process when everything's happening. And it's just so it's very I'm very happy that you talk about it because it's so big and so I think understanding of what it is to be in the music industry, and
Yeah.
not even just that. Deja Vu was a huge record. I mean, it went #4 on Billboard 100, #1 on the
And
R&B charts. I
that's
mean,
that's
pop.
Scotland right there.
Yeah. Okay, sis. Look, okay, because sis, I be loving to see these plaques on the back of y'all thing when I do interviews. But for that
Mine goes so
song,
far up, I can't fit them in the.
it's fine, but just like I show you, your accomplishments mean so much. I mean, they compared this song to like Off the Walls, Michael Jackson in Pop article in 2006. Yes, and
Sheesh.
yes, and for your song to be compared to that, I think that was so huge. And not even that, in 2013, Billboard even put it up with Jay-Z's 20 greatest hits of all time. It was #19.
That's
So
amazing.
for this song to really be just a huge and gravitating moment in your life in 2006, and then 1 year later, Monique, she did the dance on the BET
Hello.
Awards. Baby, I cut up and laughed my tail out. But it goes to show you that Deja Vu was just a beautiful record. But not even that. I love how the scenery was. I like what she was giving her homage to Louisiana, where I'm from. And
Yeah.
the way the video came out was so dope because I kind of seen some of the recognition of where I'm from in Louisiana. But it goes to show you that she was trying to get back to her roots. But not even that, for Deja Vu to be that lead single, it was just a huge, huge record for her at the time.
Yeah.
And no matter what has happened, I always want to give my songwriters the credit because for what you've done, and not even that, for you and Delisha to just take this
And
placement, and not
Makiba.
even that.
And
Oh,
Makiba.
and Makiba. Yeah, shout out to Makiba. I got to shout out my girl Makiba. And for you three ladies along right there, Beyonce took this record and made it to what y'all did as a blueprint for her. But not even that, she came out and just dominated over the summer. I remember, like, girl, they played that record everywhere on MySpace.
Yeah.
Girls, like young little girls, they were just cutting up. I mean, last year they had a young lady named Sabara Majors. She's so
Okay.
dope. She did a whole Beyonce Halloween theme. Like, she dedicated her whole Halloween theme to Beyonce, and she did your song Deja Vu, the whole dance and
Really?
everything.
Oh, you
Yes, she
gotta send it
did.
to me.
I must send it to you, girl. Like, baby, she did that. I mean, and baby, she was a big, thick, plus size girl, and baby was killing everything. So
Yes.
for your song to be just honored with so many of her greatest hits, that goes to show you that your music is timeless. And I
That's a
always want to give you
blessing.
so much, recognition, and I'm proud of that. But for it to be compared to Michael Jackson Off the Wall, that goes to show you that, yeah, the instrumentation
Right?
meant a lot.
It was so good to hear that. It was so
Yeah,
good to hear it after it was over. Like
yeah.
in post production, like to hear
Hmm.
the finished product was like, oh, this is a record.
Hmm.
Because what we heard was, the skeleton.
Hmm.
We created to a skeleton.
Right.
We didn't know there were going to be, real horns and like or live
Baby.
horns. And
Quincy
we
Jones
were
type of
like,
stuff.
what is this? And
Yeah.
then at the top, like the most creative, the bass. Dun, dun, dun.
The 808.
Like
Mm-hmm.
of course you should say that. Of course,
Yeah.
it was perfection, but it was such a an amazing thing
Mm-hmm.
to just like sit in and to like
Yeah.
kind of watch how the world is moving around you with something that
Mm-hmm.
you did, like you
Yeah.
had hands in that, and people are responding to it, and they don't know my name, they don't need to, it's okay, but they know
I know
my
your
music.
name.
They know my music though.
Yeah.
Like whether you know it or not, you know what I'm capable of. You
Yep.
sing it. You sung it. You know, you've listened to it multiple
Yeah.
times. And that is such a huge compliment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and songwriters don't get enough credit. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are literally the reason a song is a song.
Yes,
But
sis.
but but we out here fighting still,
Yeah.
you know. We're
Yeah.
fighting for all of our recognition as much
Mm-hmm.
as possible. So
Yeah.
thank you, really thank you.
Oh no, anytime, sis. Like I said, for me at 17 to just see it, on MySpace and Beyonce performing at the BET Awards in 2006, I'm like, okay, baby, she was coming
Yes.
hard. Like she just came from Dreamgirls, and then doing the
Yeah.
Dreamgirls, she came straight into her album, And like you said, I know, I think she talked about on a lot of interviews. She did like 2 to 3 weeks to make the album, and for it to go to show you right there, for her to make this her lead single, it goes to show you that she really wanted to make a way for herself. And I was
Yeah.
super proud of her at the time because, B-Day was it was a very visionary album, and I love the visuals because I think she was getting at that time, she was going into that Michael Jackson direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming into that, with the beats with Rodney Jerkins and stuff like that. And she's worked with Rodney through the years. But for her to come out with
This was
Deja Vu,
different. Yeah.
oh, it was different, honey. Because, baby, Deja Vu was boom. And then we had Ring the Alarm, boom. And then here come Irreplaceable, boom. I said, wait a minute, hold
Which
up.
by the way, every single writer that I have ever talked to said was like, and including myself, like, yo, Deja Vu is dope. But I sure wish I wrote Irreplaceable.
Okay.
Irreplaceable was just
Yeah. Mm.
so well written. Like,
Yeah.
and to be written by a man.
Mm.
I was like, okay,
Neo was in his bag.
okay.
Neo was in his bag.
All the
But
way, and wasn't sharing anything in it. Okay, he like
right.
he was like, I got this. I got this.
Yes, yes. But
That song is magical to me.
it's very magical, and I feel like for like I said, with Deja Vu to be their gear start, you won a Grammy for this. Congratulations with this,
Thank you.
but
It was
not even
the
just
album.
the
The
album, the
album,
best
yeah.
album, yeah,
Hmm.
for that. But I mean, including with that, it gets started the first single, and just
Absolutely.
looking back at it now, I kind of see where Beyonce was getting in that realm of coming into the person that she wanted to be, like be that innovator, that creator, that starter. But with Deja Vu to do that, for her to pay homage to my hometown, Louisiana, where she grew up, from before she moved to Houston,
Yeah.
it goes to show you that she really was making way for herself. But not even that, she wanted to be a true and pure artist, and I'm really super proud that she did that for herself. But not even that, you gave her that that creative force to that.
I mean, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think the other part of what you said is probably the
Mm-hmm.
truest part is that she was beginning something.
Come on.
Like, you know what I mean? Like she was starting
Yes.
something, and our song just so happened to be the
Number one.
beginning of what she was starting. You know what I mean? But she
Okay.
had to, because she seems to have such a beautiful mind where that's concerned, where her,
Yeah.
creatively, where she wants her visions and her
Yeah.
music to go. It seems like, and if it's not her, whoever the people are around her, which
Mm-hmm.
still comes back to her, but that just shows how, like, she knows exactly where she wants to be, and
Oh yeah.
thankfully we did something. Because again, I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like listening to this song, it's like, okay, we did that. But then listening to Beyonce on it was like, oh my God.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then to see like the dancing and like you said, paying homage to Louisiana, and
Mm-hmm.
the whole video was very artistic, which I don't think anybody knew where she was about to go after the first
Mm-hmm.
album. Because
Mm-hmm.
we already had the uh-oh dance, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Right. We
we
had
were
Crazy
off
in
to a
Love.
good start. We were off to a good start. So
I
we're like,
was.
everybody's like, where is she going next?
Yep.
And for her to go purely musical, like
Mm-hmm.
that was a musical record. That was a
Yeah.
melodic record.
Very melodic.
Yeah,
Oh,
she went to musicians, not just producers, but musicians. She still gave
she
you,
did.
and then you kind of got a feeling of, oh, this is Beyonce. This is who she
Mm-hmm.
is.
Oh
And then you
yeah.
started to understand she is very vast, but she
Mm-hmm.
gonna make it work. Like she's gonna
Yeah.
make all the dots connect exactly how they should. Because I just didn't see it. Again,
That makes
it's
sense.
something that only her team and she could have
Right.
made happen because I don't, well, making an album is genius anyway, just trying to
Come on.
figure out, what to put where, how many songs, do you want a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of fast songs, some slow songs? Do you want to stick to mid tempos, whatever it is? But that already takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
For her to be on the business end and on the artistry
Mm-hmm.
side, that's
Yeah,
magic. That
it
is
is.
that is magic. This whole record to me is
Mm-hmm.
magic.
It is, girl. You had so many people repost about this. It's just really been like you said, the gift that keeps on giving. But
It's
just
a
not.
beautiful thing.
It is, and just looking at a lot of stuff now. Like I see why people gravitate to Deja Vu because, like you said, it is a fast record. But I think the instrumentation played a huge role in that.
Everybody gets something out of it.
Yeah,
Everybody. The background
everybody.
vocalist, the lead vocalist, the
Mhm.
writer, the arranger,
Yep.
definitely the musician,
Mhm.
the producers, because
Mhm.
you find out how to put a record together. Like,
Yeah.
this is a solid record on an artist that is very particular about
Mhm.
what she does and has great reasons to why.
Mhm. And it was very strategic why she put it on her
Very
birthday
strategic.
too.
Hello. Hello.
She said B-Day for a
Magic.
reason because she's Beyonce, but it was on her
Magic.
birthday. And I think it was dope, like you said, her strategic plan on how the way she wanted this album to be. Like you said, it was her. It was who
Yeah.
she wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah. To the
Mm-hmm.
core.
To the core, okay? And I wanted to ask you, sis, like, how did you feel when it went number one back back then? And how did you feel when the album became so successful and Deja Vu, becoming that big, huge success for you?
Um, the honest answer is
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care.
You didn't care. What? You had Deja Vu, sis. Look.
I had two kids.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Mm.
And the only thing that mattered is that there was a check coming in every few months. That's what
Mm.
mattered. I was
Right.
like, I did something that I can take care of my kids and I can be home.
Yeah.
And I can travel a bit, I can work, but I can come home and I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
like do a whole bunch of little stuff while I'm home. I can actually I was a member of the PTA.
Mm-hmm.
I was like one of the volunteers for lunchtime. I was, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
had kids. So I didn't care
Right.
about the number one. I think it's amazing. It's beautiful. That was
Mm-hmm.
none of my doing. I'm glad I played a part.
Mm-hmm.
But the greatest gift to me was just being able to take care of my kids. I didn't know
Right.
anything about when it went number one, when anything happened with that
Oh,
record, except for when
wow.
it started.
Mm-hmm.
Until somebody would call me and tell me. I didn't even know that
Oh.
I was in a writing session when the Grammy nominations came up.
Mm.
And one of the guys from CSAC, Capricio, he called me and he was like, "Congratulations, 3 nominations." And I'm like, "For what?" I don't know any of this. Like,
Wow.
I'm just here. I'm just here,
Mm.
like trying to do what I'm supposed to do. But when I got that news, I was like, "What? I'm going to the Grammy?" Like,
Huh, okay.
I didn't know what that was. What kind of life is this?
Oh.
But again, what mattered the absolute most to me was that I was able to take care of my children off of
Right.
this one record. When before my history in this industry was like having to fight for recognition and having to fight for
Mm-hmm.
money, and this
Right.
time the business was worked out.
Mm. That's what's up.
And I was cooking dinner.
Right. She was like, girl, I'm a mama. Look.
Yeah. I was like, that is so cool. Okay, so I gotta eat dinner with my kids. Like
Wow.
everything is beautiful, but what really mattered was at home at that
Mm-hmm.
time. But I'm just starting to realize the power of it.
Come on, sis.
And that's what, 15 years later? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just starting to realize that there's still power. There's still
Right.
power in your
Right.
credibility, in your success, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's your past success.
Mm-hmm.
It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
But what I love about you too, Kelly, like you're very humble. And I love that about you because a lot of people in this industry you can't tell are humble, but you stay true to who you are, and I love that about you. And I feel
I
like
try.
with that, says you are trust. You humble. But I think what I'm learning from a lot of people, not even just who I interview in the industry, whatever like that, you never let the success or get over your head. And you always have to stay true to yourself because I think that's going to keep you far in this business is you have to have humbleness and longevity to be who you are and not get lost in the industry.
Yeah. I mm, I actually admire the ones that have the most fire.
Come on, sis.
I wish I had that. I just don't have it.
Mm,
It's not a fight that I want. I don't
mm-hmm,
want the fight. I
mm.
want to do what I'm purposed to do,
Come on.
walk where I'm supposed to walk, take care of my family, travel a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and have really good sex every now and then. That's what I
Come
want.
on.
That's what I want.
You better get some hearts just by
So
saying that, okay? Look. See, the hearts that
so
went up. Look,
that
the hearts have went up. I told you. I'm like, look, I didn't say if she did, y'all. She did.
but it's the truth. It's
Oh,
like
man.
that's just not one
I
of the
feel you.
things that I want to really worry about in life. I
Right.
don't want to have to fight for that anymore.
Yeah.
So as I'm completely grateful for everything that has happened, but I want life more than
Mm,
money, more than success. I want
right.
my life. I want what I'm supposed to do. I
Mm-hmm.
want that to be completed. I want to like complete the mission, you
Right.
know. So I'm just like I'm walking on a road, whatever that
Mm-hmm.
path is. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
walking it. I'm here, and if something doesn't feel right, I feel it. If
Mm.
something's, you know what I
Speak
mean?
it.
If something's not right, then again, I listen to myself and I can't do that. I don't know why,
Right.
but something's not allowing me to do it. And I don't necessarily say that, but that's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's more
Right.
so, something always happens that gets in the way of it.
Mm.
Cause
Wow,
it's
that's
like,
crazy.
cause I'm not supposed to do it, you know, whatever it is. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I'm just walking whatever this path is. And the humbleness is really that. It's like, cause I know this ain't even it. Whatever
Mm.
is behind me is
Come
like
on.
there's something so much greater, and that's what I'm walking towards. Now I don't know how I'm gonna be when when I get my six pack
Come on.
and my $1,000,000 too, and you know when I'm not just a thousandaire. Uh, but you know, I hope that I'm still the same person because I really believe that nothing matters that much.
Amen. Yeah.
It just doesn't matter that much. It is meant to you know the Bible, your gifts will make room. Some of my friends will be very proud of me for saying that. Um but when the Bible talks about like your gifts, you know, making room for you, it's like that's
Yeah.
all I'm doing is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm
That's
just
right.
grateful that I've been in place to do those things and I'm
Mm.
still able to do them every day and still work in my field and my kids are proud of me and my mom and my dad are proud and my sisters, you
Oh.
know. That's what really matters to me. And the other stuff is such a beautiful addition,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
I never thought I would see my name, my full name spelled correctly on a
Mm.
plaque. I never knew that that could happen for me because that was never my
Mm.
plan. My
Right.
plan was just like I just want to sing. I just want to write. I just want to, and it's like, oh, there's more where that came from. So
Mm.
I'm just grateful to be living my purpose.
Come on, purpose. Yes.
That's all.
I was waiting for you to say that, sis, because you are truly living your purpose. Because I feel like, whatever that ignition you had for when you were working your 9 to 5 job, you knew it was something more than that because the way you're gifted, you're a talented
Yeah,
vocalist, you're a talented, artist,
I
songwriter. I
was
mean,
writing
you
at
have,
my desk.
come on. We know you
I was
was,
like,
sis.
this
I know
can't
you,
be right. This
this
can't be
can't be
right.
right,
I don't
okay?
think I should be here doing this.
Exactly. So, I mean, just alone right there, you had so much purpose for yourself. But that's why I said for you, I have to give you flowers, you and Delisha, for
I'm
everything you did for Deja Vu,
so
And
grateful. So
so, I mean,
grateful.
very grateful. I mean, you done stuff for Tamia. You did stuff for the, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace to him, and
Hmm.
feature Marsha Ambrosius with that song. And I just feel like, for your legacy to be in so many people's imprint, it goes to show you that you don't only do just R&B, you do hip hop, you do all facets of music, and that's why you're not just a one person of genre. You're
Yeah.
multifaceted, but not even just that. You give your gifts of singing to every type of music that is. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm truly proud of you.
I've been really blessed, and thank you,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
I've been really blessed just to again relationships
Mm-hmm. The
because
relationships.
because when my children, first of all, I just got real country and I said because when don't worry about it.
You from
BS.
Virginia? I'm from Louisiana. You already know how we is, child. We got thick accents. Cause that.
I try my best to like hone it in sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes all my words run together.
Right.
Um, but I was at home. My children, we had just moved to LA, and my kids were home from school, and my friend Bink, the producer, Bink called me, and he was like, "Yo, Kel, you in town?" Me and Bink used to be signed to Stevie J and Jay Brown together. By the way, it's such a weird like
dynamic.
no, like this is everybody's lives in the music industry. Like
right.
At some
So
point,
close.
you cross paths with so many people in just different ways and different spaces.
Right.
But me and Bink were signed years ago together, and he called me when he was here. We're both from Virginia too. He called me when he was here working with Nipsey, and he said, "Can you come? I need you to do vocals." And I was like, "Yeah." And I told my kids about it, and my son was like, "Oh my God, you're going to work with Nipsey?" And I was like, "Who is this?
Who is this?
Who is this? I don't know who this is." Like, I love hip hop.
Wow.
West Coast, I don't know that well. But my kids were all in, so they taught me very, very quickly. And I remember going to the studio, and they had pizzas, and and it was very smoky in there.
Oh Lord, look, yeah.
And and it was like, where am I supposed to go? So I went into the room, and I remember talking to him, and he was very specific about what he needed and what he wanted for that record. And anything that I did outside of that, he would come in graciously. Like he was very kind about it. But he was very stern also. Like, no, that's not what that's not what he asked for. He wanted something very specific, and it was like, okay. I really wanted to do it. I didn't even know who he was, but it was just like, I was inspired by the fact that he knew what the fuck, excuse my language, he knew what he was talking about.
You good, sis? Look.
Oh, good.
Girl, you is good, child. Girl, like I say, baby, you need to see me and my friend, y'all. When we go live, child, we stay cussing. Like, we don't care. Look. But I want people to just be their genuine self, too. So, be who you are.
Thank you. I don't want to offend anybody, though. But I probably will, and that's going to be okay. But he just knew what he wanted. And that dope. To me was just like, the fact that he knows what he wants and I'm not giving it to him, I need to match his energy. You know what I mean? It's not about what I think for this record. It's what he wants. It's his record, and he was very specific about it. And Bink kind of walked me through some things, and we did vocals and a few, like, the harmonies underneath the vocals, and stretched out some stuff and corrected some of the some incorrect stuff from other vocalists. And it all came together because that's what I'm good at.
Come on, let them people know that you know how to arrange stuff, okay? Look.
So we went through that whole record, and it was amazing again to even hear. Well, let me say first, that night I told Nipsey, I was like, "Do you have anything that I could take home with my kids? They love you." And Nipsey pulled out, like, whatever his records were before he went major, he pulled them out and signed them. And gave them to me. And I gave them to my son, who was laying in the middle of the living room floor when I got home, because he was waiting for me to get home. And I gave it to him. He went to school the next day.
Oh God, please don't. He didn't took it to school.
He said the kids asked him, "What does your mom do?" And he was like, "Well, the music industry. Yeah, my mom does everything." I was like, "What?" Like, that's
girl, he went to me at the school. Girl, no ma'am. Oh my God.
My mother is everything. She is the music industry. I was
Come on, big up your mom. That's right. Look,
I know, right? I ain't never mad at that. But I was like, really, everything? She does, yeah, everything. I was like, that was so cool. That was one of the brightest spots about that. And then, of course, I still don't drive by Slauson, which is where he passed. I still don't go down there. We used to live in that area. I don't go in that direction.
So you haven't been there since that happened.
No,
that's crazy.
No.
And I wanted you
I just started walking that day, actually.
Seriously?
That was my first day out of the house. I just got in the car. I was driving for the first time. I'd had a real major surgery, and it left me temporarily paralyzed, and I had to learn to walk again. So that was a few months before that. And that day, I was literally on my way to see my best friend who had just gotten in town.
Oh, wow.
And my daughter was in the car, and she said, "Mom, Nipsey got shot." And I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then I go on my Instagram and I saw that he died.
And he died. Wow.
And it was like,
Same thing for
what?
me too.
I was like, what kind of world is this? Because I didn't know that was still happening. I didn't know that it
Yeah.
was possible. And I'd never been so close to it before. I've
Mm-hmm.
had a family member that got killed in a drive-by many years ago, Zuri.
Mm-hmm.
She was my god sister. Got killed many years ago in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was on Slauson too. That's unfortunate.
It's crazy.
But I didn't know that that was still happening in
Yeah.
LA. I didn't know that, because gangs are not what people say gangs are. Like,
Right,
it's
right.
more family than like violence. You feel me? Like, they are
Yeah.
protectors of neighborhoods and protectors of communities.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't seen any kind of violence in the 20 something years that I've been coming back and forth to LA.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really heartbreaking, So I
Wow.
haven't been back in that space since, but I listen to his record every day. Hustle and motivate.
Okay, look, yes, sis. But you know what? That goes to show you that, you work with so many talented people who have lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like you around Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? You around
Yeah.
her. You know what I'm saying? Like being around these iconic people that really, had the little time they had on earth, but they made a huge impact goes to show you that, you around greatness and you are great. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And I wanted to ask you, like, what is the key to making a hit record since you made so many hits for a lot of people? And I want to ask you, what is your favorite hit from your catalog?
Oh. Ooh. Well, first, I think the key ingredient to a hit record is reading the room.
What? Oh, ain't nobody never gave me that answer. Wait a
Read
minute.
the
You gonna
room. You have
you
to know your audience.
come on.
You have to know your audience, because you cannot write certain songs for a certain
Yeah.
audience. This is why a lot of African Americans are in such an uproar about what's Homeboy, Old Town Road,
Yep.
because that's not his community. We're not for him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool, but I just don't enjoy the music, to be honest.
Right, right, right.
But but for people that enjoy his music and enjoy who he is, those are his people.
Correct.
So if you're writing for a specific artist, just on this side of things, if we're writing for a specific artist, we need to know who their audience is,
Come
so
on.
that we can write a record that's appropriate for that. You're not going to write a ballad for who can't sing.
Oh.
Okay, I won't do that.
I'm not going there. No comment. I'm leaving it alone. I ain't going there.
But you're not going to write a big ballad for that type of singer.
Right, right, right.
The ballad could be everything that it should be, but it's not going to work. It's just not going to work for that artist.
Correct.
It won't get the steam that it's supposed to get. You may get some recognition, the artist may get some recognition, but it's not going to be a big record because it doesn't speak to their audience. And it's not going to grow an audience because it's probably not good. Because the performance, there's something off, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about like the key ingredients, but I think the first one is really like knowing your audience, know who you're writing for, and then knowing who you're writing with, knowing the vocal ability of that person, the vocal ability or not of that person.
Exactly.
And just knowing how to push the record forward, and then you really have to tweak and edit, because sometimes you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like too many instruments, it's too many different sounds, or some of the sounds aren't meshing well. The producer, it's a huge puzzle to piece together for that record. But I think some people only do their job. They only do the writing, they only do the production, they only do, and it's like, nah, you got to know how all of this works together. Because if it's a hip hop producer, then I need to match that energy, especially if it's a hip hop artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, read the room. What does the room look like?
Correct.
And then I think that is just, to me, a solid foundation to even get to the point of writing.
That's dope. I love that. I've never heard that. That's like the first answer I've gotten. Read the room. That's dope. I like that. I like how you convey that, and then you hit it to the audience and pretty much making it seem like who is it going to gravitate to. So I love that. That's dope. Do
Well,
you have a
thank you.
favorite
I hope it
hit?
made sense, girl.
It did. Oh, it made sense to me.
My
Look, it
favorite
made because
is
I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
do
What
I
is
have
your
a
favorite hit from your
Deja Vu.
catalog? Deja Vu.
Deja
Okay.
Vu, and mainly because it was the first of many things for me, and
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that because it helped me understand things that I grew from my past, but
Right. Right.
also helped me to understand like there's some you're making room, like you have a ways to
Yeah.
go, and this is setting you up for something. That's the biggest record, and it's still, you know, brings in money
Mm.
and more gifts, if you will.
Come on.
So
Come on. Gifts.
and moments to meet people like you know, like
Aww.
how cool is that? How cool is that to be able to talk about something that you know well
Mm-hmm.
with someone who is actually a part of the thing.
Right.
Like
And
that
then,
is to have this is really cool. So
yeah.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, and definitely to be the soundtrack of my life. Like looking back at it a lot, and you know, she had the deluxe album. It was just really, she really took B-Day seriously, and I had to look back and sit. And I'm like, she really is going all out with these videos. Sugar Mama,
And she ain't let us down yet.
baby, nothing. I mean,
Well, I
flaws
don't
and
think she will,
all.
honestly. I don't think she
No,
will, but she ain't let us down.
no, that's one thing I've learned about Beyonce through the years because I'm a huge Destiny Child fan girl. I'm obsessed with them, child. Baby, you talk about baby Destiny's Child was everything to me. But looking back at it now, she was really gearing herself towards success. But she
Mm-hmm.
always stayed true to being a dedicated person of what she loves of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She reached out to R&B, but I can see at the time she was really going into a pop lane. You know what I'm saying? You know, had
Yeah.
those R&B with the instrumentation, but you could tell she was trying to cross over in her way. But doing that, she did it with visuals of videos, and that's what I loved about it. I'm like, this girl is really coming out
She
here and finna dominate
gave it
MTV,
all.
like Kitty Cat, baby. And you know, I know you
Yes.
sing. You know, B-Day was trending this week, honey, and baby, you know they was going in talking about Kitty Cat was the worst song. I said, lies you tell. Don't come with no. Oh, baby, yes.
Audience. She that's the audience because
But it was a
what she
magazine that made their
established.
opinion. A magazine made their opinion of that.
But even still, her what she did with that album was gave every audience something. There's
That's
not
right.
one type of audience or one specific audience that didn't like a record. At least one record on that album.
Right.
That's the magic of it. So that means she has a lot of other people listening to her record now, not just a certain like an R&B soul,
Right,
you know,
right.
the crowd that loved the girl group. She wasn't just getting people that wanted to do like booty dances. She was getting everybody together on that
Yeah,
record.
she was.
Like this was, I think Dangerously in Love was more so like pieced together with some old and some new, and you know, it was a debut.
I love
But
Dangerously in Love. That's my favorite.
This record was calculated.
Yo, girl, yes.
It was very strategic.
She knew what she was doing.
Right. It was very strategic, and it was just like, you know, okay, let's give something to them. Let's make a record for them. Let's make a record for them. She made a record. So whoever didn't like that song, it wasn't for them.
And Sugar Mama, they put
wasn't
Sugar
for
Mama
them.
too. I was like, girl, I
Get
love
outta
Sugar
here.
Mama,
Get outta
baby.
here.
But let me say this:
Get outta
Deja Vu wasn't one of the worst songs. They
they could never.
Okay, sis, like you know what I'm saying? Like they were making sure they was like, look, they do love Deja Vu. A lot of people do, like I said, like to say, and it's crazy because
It gives
to
you
say
everything.
that it gives you everything, but to say for this album to keep trending on 15 years after it released, it goes to show you that people are still talking about how B-Day was so conveying and so visionary for her, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you if you want to describe one word about this album, what word would it be?
Initially, I would have said solid. But throughout this interview, I've noticed that I've said magic a lot. So maybe I'll say magic. Yeah, magic. She started something.
She did.
Started something. It was a game changer.
It was. It was truly a game changer. I mean, for her to take Michael's blueprint, in my personal opinion, of visuals and videos, she came on the woman's perspective for our generation and really made every song. I wish she would have had a video for Resentment Child, because that's my favorite song.
I think
Candace.
that was everybody's.
Shout
That
out
was
to my girl
every.
Candace, baby.
I love her so much.
Girl, I
I
love
love her so much.
girl, and Cardi B even shouted out for Cardi B to shout out resentment on her. Yes, she
Really?
did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did on Through Your Phone. Oh yeah, she shouted out resentment, saying resentment was resentment on repeat as a track song. But for Cardi B
Wow.
to big up B Day, you know what I'm saying? For you to go
Yeah.
to show you like my generation on down, we really love that album. You know what I'm saying? B Day did a lot
That is
for
so
her,
cool.
but for us, you know. But it was
How
very
was
magical.
that?
Yeah,
I was a part of that. Huh.
girl. Girl.
Okay.
Okay, Magic Queen. Look, okay. So I mean, it's a really timeless album, but not even that for it to still get recognition from magazine covers to this day. It goes to
Yeah,
show you that you made waves in the industry, sis. And I want to
definitely.
ask you
Thank you.
about how you've been doing. You know, everything was going on with you today, and I wanted you to talk about Beware your project about that because I love what it stands for, but what you do with that project. So I want you to talk about that. What are you doing right now?
Um, ooh, it's a little touchy, so one sec.
Mm-hmm.
So, my grandmother passed away of cancer,
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
exactly 10 years ago this year.
Oh wow.
Um, and about, maybe 6 months to a year later, I just really wanted to honor her.
Mm.
And my birthday came up that following year, and I was like, I don't want to do anything for myself. I want to honor her. I want to do something for her.
Oh.
So the B, and Be Aware is my grandmother's first and middle name, which also is my mom's first and
Oh
middle name,
wow.
which is Barbara Elizabeth.
Oh.
And so it's just, be aware because she made our whole family aware of something that we weren't really taking care of our health, weren't getting
Mhm.
checkups regularly. We
Mhm.
didn't know our family's history.
Right.
And she got sick, and we're like, well, where does this come from? And we didn't know that she had been sick before,
Oh wow.
and it was like, okay, is this a family thing? Like, we need to know.
Mhm.
We need to talk about these things, but in our community, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't talk enough because it's like almost like we're embarrassed by what's wrong with us, but it could actually help someone else, or that person could help you if you just open your mouth and just say the thing. I'm feeling some heart, some issues right now. It is
Right.
okay for you to say that to somebody because hopefully, if you say it to the right person, they're not gonna say, "Oh, you'll be all right."
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll ask you, how long has it
Come
been
on.
bothering you? Or it starts a dialogue, and then maybe you can talk through some things, but also hopefully you'll get a suggestion to see a doctor
Come on. Preach.
and not
Preach.
just stay home and it'll go away. Take some
Yeah.
ibuprofen, take something,
Yeah.
some Theraflu, whatever. It's
Right.
like, there's so many people that even have passed away through COVID,
Yeah.
because they were like, no, I just have a sinus infection, or I just have, something. My mother actually told me about some people. They caught the variant and they just thought that
Mm.
it was nothing,
Wow.
and passed away within 3 days.
Whew, girl.
Like, so be aware is all about like being really aware of what is going on around you, your family history, having
Yeah.
conversations that you may not want to have. But it's been inactive for a few years because the last time we celebrated was with a little cousin of ours. She was 13,
Mm.
and she's the same age as my daughter. They were 3 months
Right.
apart. They were
Oh
like best
wow.
friend, cousins, sisters. And she passed away, a few months after that, and she actually
Mm.
helped with the photography for the event and everything. And
Oh.
so I kind of have not. I moved here after that. I haven't really revisited Be Aware for a while. I know I need
Mhm.
to because it's also a mission that I know I need to carry out. It's a part of my purpose. But it's
Right.
been a little while getting through it. And to honor her, today is actually the anniversary of her passing, niece's passing.
What? Oh
My
wow.
little
Oh
cousin.
wow.
So that's when you asked me, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So God bless her, my cousin Tisha, and my entire
Mhm.
family, today. But it's been a really tough. It's been tough, like being aware of something and then something happens to a family member and not knowing what it was. But she
Right.
passed away of myocarditis, which is a heart condition that you don't, in children, they don't see it
Right.
right away. They didn't know that was what it was until after she passed away. So
Wow.
it's so much stuff that Be Aware
Yeah.
actually covers. But that is the mission of Be Aware, is just to really have conversations and really try to make sure that we all are aware of what's going on in our bodies and around us with our families.
Come on. Yeah.
But I know I need to get back to it. I really appreciate you for bringing that up.
Yes, sis. And I
Okay.
wanted to, because I know for me personally, for me personally, I've dealt with a lot of family members. You know, my mother passed away 2 years ago, with hypertension, with heart problems and stuff. And
I'm
so
so
looking
sorry.
at stuff like that, you know, and it's crazy because tomorrow's her birthday. And like I said,
Oh,
everything comes full circle, you know, and
oh,
just
yeah,
alone right there, I appreciate that, because when I see people's projects and stuff, and I'm in a sorority, so I offer service to all mankind. But
yeah,
for the most part, I want to always acknowledge your accomplishments and recognition. But not even that, you can also help and save people, you know? So that's
yeah.
why I
I
wanted to
definitely,
definitely.
that is definitely the mission. I gotta get back to it.
Yes, sis, because baby, you know I'm
That's
be out
such a
there
reminder.
reposting.
That's such a reminder. I really have to get
Yeah.
back to it because it's probably more needed now than ever,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
people lying about getting this vaccine, Cass.
Baby, you already know they did, child. Look, baby, look, I'm
It's
already in the
like
process of getting prepared.
we gotta start having these serious conversations,
We do.
because relationships are at risk.
Yeah,
Travel is at risk.
exactly.
Families are hurting because
Yeah,
people just aren't being honest about what's going on in their
they're not.
bodies, with their families, who they were around,
Yeah.
where they traveled to, all of that. Like, we need to have those conversations, because people are dying every day
They
from
are.
preventable stuff, from
Yeah.
things that could have been prevented prior to,
Right.
just not doing anything. Like, we will literally sit and fester in our
Yeah.
mess and let something happen because we don't want to talk about it, and that
Yeah.
that just can't be a thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, be aware.
I love it, sis. Congratulations. I mean, I'm just so super proud of you, Miss Price. And I just
Thank
want you to
you.
know that no matter where you are in the world, you are a gem, and you're super talented, and you always will have lovely stuff on my platform. But I wanted to ask you one last question before we end
Okay.
today's live. Do you have any advice on anything that you want to give their people that are trying to make it into this industry?
um well, I don't think a lot of people want to be in this industry,
Oh.
for starters.
Mm.
I don't.
Mm.
I think a lot of people want to be famous, and I think a lot of people want to be seen and want to be
Facts.
known and want to be heard, and that's all great. I think the best advice right now is, well, two things, I guess. If you're going to be a part of the music industry, know your business.
Mm.
Read your contracts.
If you got
Know
some
that
parts.
publishing deals don't look like what you think they look like.
Right.
They say one thing, but they really mean something else. And if anyone wants to know, just ask me, and I will definitely help you with that in
It's
some
dope.
kind of way. But contracts are real, and they are
Mm.
binding, and they will hurt. A year's contract can last as long as they want it to if you haven't done your part. And that means
Wow.
you could be
Mm.
tied up in something for 10 years for one song, and you think it's one song, but it's actually 100%. So you could have written 10 songs.
Girl.
You could have written 10 songs. But if you only got like 5% on those 10 songs, then you've only fulfilled half of your contract.
Oh no, ma'am. Look.
So
That's not all
it
right.
says one song, but what it means is 100%. And a lot of people will
Mm.
go through these agreements like, all I got to do is 3 songs. That's what I did.
Mm.
That's what I did. I'm telling
Right.
you what I know, not what I heard.
Wow. Come on.
I was told, my contract said 3 songs internationally. Oh, I already got placements. I'm good. No, 300%.
Oh, Jesus.
It's
Wow.
like,
Mm.
okay, so that means if I have to do 50% songs,
Oh, wow. Mm.
that's very rare when you're like really just getting your footing.
Right.
Very rare. Six,
Mm-hmm.
650, like I have to, it wasn't happening. It wasn't
Mm,
happening.
mm,
And now I'm stuck, you know, at the time I was stuck in agreement. Thankfully, there were some other legal loopholes and we
mm.
got out of it. But, you know,
Right.
if we didn't know that part of it, I would have still been in a contract even now,
Mm.
you know, years,
Wow.
many years later, just because unless
Mm.
they let me out. But so I would say know your contracts, read your contracts, know your business. But also there are a lot of people, the ones that just want to be famous and not just want to be, because being famous is cool. But for those that want to be famous and that want to like be seen and heard, stop hiring like music managers. You don't have anything to
Please.
manage.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
stop. Stop.
Child.
You need to
Mm-mm.
hire a social media manager. Hire someone that can help build
Ding.
your numbers
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and hire someone that can tell you what kind of content, what type
Right.
of content you need to continue to create to build that part of
Right.
your brand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only advice I have.
Well, I love that because I love what your aspect is, and especially Ryan definitely told me the same thing. So it's like you definitely really need to know the business before you get involved in any type of industry. You know what I'm saying? In regards to
Yeah,
music, business, I mean
yeah,
anything. Because contracts, a lot of people don't read the contracts. They just so quick to sign on the dotted line. But if you read more into what you're getting yourself into, you can be in something longevity. You can't get yourself out. You know?
yeah. And I
Mm.
know, and you have to pay people to get you out. You know what I mean?
Yes, child,
And
that's
it's like
enough money.
I
Is all
already know
right.
how to. That's the problem. That's why I
Yeah.
want to get out. Is because I'm not getting. You know, I'm not. You don't even get paid after a certain point in those
Right.
agreements. You're
Right.
just
Right.
stuck in an
You just
agreement, and
stuck.
you can't work with other people. You can't like. It's so much stuff. It's so much that
Yeah.
will keep you in this really bad space. So know that
Right.
if
Right.
they know that that goes a long way.
Mm, 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 mm,
That
mm.
goes a long way.
Yes, sis, you better preach. Well, so proud and so happy for you. But before we do also end, do you have any upcoming projects or anything that you want to talk about before we do end today's live or anything you got coming up, Miss Price?
I do. I have a lot actually.
Yay!
The end of this month, I'm releasing a single with a good producer friend of mine in Sweden. We released a UK single, a Swedish single last year. I always say
Okay.
UK because it was silly.
Right.
But we did a record last year. It did really well overseas,
Mm.
really well. So we decided to do it again, and we're releasing a record the end of this month. I actually have to send everything in tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And then what is it? October, November, I'm releasing a full like children's record because my first
Oh.
granddaughter will be
Yes,
born.
congratulations. So you're gonna be a
Um,
grandma, girl. You look like nobody's grandma. Girl, sit
Thank
down.
you.
Look.
That's what she'll say too. That's what she'll say.
Aww.
But so releasing that record, we've been working on it for a while, but I honestly just didn't have a purpose for it. Like I didn't have a
Mm.
place for it.
Right.
And now my family is my
Aww.
mother wrote one of the songs. The kid's grandfather, who is Curtis Robertson, he used to play bass for Lou Rawls and a bunch of Shaka Khan and like a bunch of other
Girl.
people.
Music
They're my
family.
I mean, they're my children's grandmother is Sarita Wright, who used
Uh-huh.
to be Motown, one of Motown's biggest artists. She co-wrote
What?
Signed, Still Delivered with Stevie,
Mm.
um, and a bunch of other records with Stevie. I just don't know them all. But like now it just feels like this record is purpose. So October, November, we're finishing that up. And then around Christmas time, I will finally be releasing a full book and an
Oh,
album. The album will go with the book.
what?
And
Come
it
on,
is
Mariah
really,
Carey.
really
Look.
special. It's really special. Like every chapter has its own song. It's the
Oh.
chapter. It's called Love Keli,
Mm.
and it is love letters from me to the people that the chapter is about. You'll read the chapter and about different ways to love and different ways that love happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all see it like one way, and I'm just like, yeah, love happens differently.
And definitely, yeah.
We see it differently. Love can be, love for me was the guy that, when I was in an abusive relationship,
Mm.
he came to pick me up and hid me away in his attic. You know,
Girl,
that's love.
Jesus Christ,
That's
girl.
love.
Woo.
Um,
Mm, mm, mm.
but like you know, that's love. That's a different form of love. Or when
Yeah.
I was, the book is actually dedicated to the people that I'm telling you about now, my friends who have helped me in really beautiful moments of my life. But love is also my friend who came and brought me in and out when I was in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Late at night, snuck it in. That's love.
Wow.
But it just it's a story of love, and it's also about like me loving myself enough to
Love
know
that.
that whatever happened in these relationships didn't define who I am as a person. And just
Amen.
wanting to help people to grow in that, just to understand that like relationships, they look different, but
Right.
when you know, and when you don't think that it's going to work, you still know. So just like listen to your heart, and it's just telling all of those stories. But there are songs that I've written over the years that actually were about the people in those chapters.
Come on,
So,
sis.
so you hear the story about it, but then you'll hear the song. Like you'll read the story about it, but then you'll hear the song that I wrote at the time that this stuff was happening in our lives. And
Wow.
it's really special, and it's a few new songs. I think seven new songs. I had to look at my board. It's like I am the note person.
Come on, music head. Look.
These are all my post-its.
Girl, baby, you don't play,
And not even
okay?
all of them. Every note that I have to write it down because my mind is constantly going and doing something.
Right.
So there are a few new songs. My last relationship probably has one of my favorite songs, and it's just basically saying, you know, I wouldn't care if you died. And
Jesus,
that
look.
but
Sound like Tony.
just
Tony Braxton, girl, I wish. Girl, that was my
but you
jam.
know, shit happens.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's just it's a book about loving myself, but also
So,
a gift from me to you, just trying to help people. I don't want people to hurt so bad. And I think if you
yeah.
really realize what the purpose of the relationship is,
Come on.
you'll get through the sad parts much
Yeah.
easier. Because it's like, oh, that's why you were in my life. Not necessarily for me to be with or for me to, you know, marry. But you were in my life because I had to learn this thing. I had to
Season
get
and a
through this
reason.
thing. Yeah.
Season
And
and
I
a
think
reason. Yep.
we get so stuck in like he was supposed to be. I've been stuck.
Yeah.
I've been really stuck a few times. And I don't want that for anybody anymore.
Preach,
So I'm
sis.
like, this relationship happened, but this is what came out of it. And this is how I feel. This is how I feel now. I'm not mad at him. I'm grateful that this happened. But let me tell you the story. You know what I mean? Like, let me tell you what happened. But then also, like, there is forgiveness at the end of that because you really see that there's purpose in the relationship, or that there was purpose in the relationship. So the book and the album will be around Christmas. So the end of this month is the single, and it's called I Do.
Oh.
And it's really special.
Come on.
It's sexy, I think. It's really
Okay.
sexy. I
Look,
love
sis, you
it.
know what my show's called Midnight R&B Edition, so we do slow jams too. Look.
Hey, hey. Do we still do the fans? We don't.
The
We don't.
wine and dance. Look, well, we do our age group, child. Look.
Okay. I have one of my mentees. Hi, Mia. One of my
Aw.
mentees is on, and I know she is going to text me after this and be like, "Why you do that old lady dance, Miss Kelly? Why you do that old lady dance? Because I'm an old lady, child. We
Exactly. I'm in
here.
my 30s.
We are
Look,
here.
child. Look.
I'm in my 40s. We are
Come,
here.
baby, you don't look
Hi,
it.
boo
Black
boo.
don't crack.
Okay. Thank you.
That's so
But
dope.
so yeah, September, October, November, and December, every month there will be something. And I've really been working hard just trying to get this done. This year I've spent I ain't gonna say all, most of my time working on myself and these projects because I don't want to leave here
Amen.
not doing what I'm supposed to do. So if now is the time, then now is the time. And I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do because I
That's
know
right.
whatever there's something else after this. So I got to get through this
Amen.
part. And so this stuff will be released this year. And
Oh.
then, we'll see what happens next year. But it's going to be really special. So hopefully we'll talk again.
Yes, sis. You gotta come back, baby. When you want to drop that single, let me know because I got you,
Don't
and
play with it.
I'm
Don't play
all
with it.
about baby. Because look, you already know. I'm the look. All you gotta do is just let me know, like sis, I want to come back to XYZ. I'm like, I got you. I got the dead set.
I'm all the
The
way
date
down.
set.
This light ain't gonna be so bright. We gonna have candles though.
I'm done.
It's
Oh,
gonna
girl,
be
come
it's
on,
gonna be
baby. Come
sexy.
on.
It's gonna be
Baby,
sexy.
come on, because, baby, I will get my little freakum dress. Look, baby, look. You know you was on B-Day, so, baby, I will come back and come here and come hard, baby. Thank you to see something else, child.
Yes,
Baby, don't let these people know, baby, I may be
yes.
32 years old, but don't
Look,
try me if you want to.
we'll
Look.
make an event out of it. Okay, we
That'd be
record
dope.
it.
I would
Let's
love
do
that.
it.
I
Let's
would love
do
that.
it.
Just let me know, sis. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You have been such a light and a joy
Oh,
on my
thank you so
platform,
much.
Miss Keli Nicole Price. I'm so proud of you and want to honor you and just give you your flowers on my platform. You are just a beautiful gem. And shout out to
Thank
my friend
you.
Montrez. He was just so excited. He said it's like his
Hi,
favorite album.
Montrez.
And just for along right there, you really, really gave Beyonce something to her legacy, and I mean in longevity, and for your
I'm really
legacy as well,
grateful. I'm
and
really
I'm
grateful for
forever
that.
grateful for you and Rodney, my favorite producer of all time,
Right,
and
all of ours.
everybody. Child, girl,
Everybody.
he is my number one. I tell people, look, I said I love me some Brandy, but baby, that
He doesn't
Rodney,
miss. He doesn't miss.
he never misses, and that's why
He
I'm just
doesn't
truly
miss.
proud of you
Yeah.
and everything that you have done. But before I do end my live today, y'all, I have two announcements I have to make. So next, Friday the 17th, since we're in a new week, child, so these days go by so
A new
fast.
month and a new week.
New month and new week, yes, y'all. Next Friday, please join me on the 17th with the Grammy nominated 1/4 of the girl group For Real, Miss Wendy Williams Stern. We are going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of their sophomore
Ooh,
album, Free, which I loved. It is so dope. That one song that everybody knows,
interesting.
Love Will, yes, what says Love Will Be Waiting at Home. If y'all remember that was on the Waiting to Excel soundtrack. I'll be joined with her next Friday on that. And also that same night, y'all, please join me with my friend JR. He was on the live earlier today. Me and my brother, we are gonna be celebrating. We're gonna be doing a versus debate, y'all. And our versus debate, y'all, we are gonna be talking about Boys and Men versus Jodeci. So we want
Ooh,
to know. Oh yes, ma'am. We want to know, who do y'all want to see to win this versus? But not even that. We want to talk about Boys and Men versus Jodeci because I know that's been like the biggest topic of all verses, and a lot of people want to see that. And I know for sure we want to honor both groups and honor them for what they did in the 90s, but not even that, just recognize for
ooh,
what they did and just talk about their favorite, their greatest hits, the stuff they done in the industry and everything that is about Boys Men and Jodeci. So
that's gonna be
y'all
good.
make sure next Friday, me and JR, we're gonna be going in, we're gonna be doing some cussing and going out, but y'all know how we are, we don't care. But for us, along right,
Y'all might
I'm
have to
sorry.
tag me in.
Oh baby, let us know if you want to come in. We got you, because baby, you was around that time with Timberland, and you know the tea. Okay,
There's a lot.
okay, let us know, sis, because I'm gonna be up in there with you. Okay, look. But at the end of the day, y'all, we want to honor verses and make sure that Boys Men and Jodeci are recognized for what they are. But not even that, we want to celebrate Miss Wendy Williams Stern, y'all. She is a big time fashion designer. But not even that, we want to also recognize her for being a singer in the group For Real. So, y'all, we are done with our beautiful interview with the Grammy Award singer, songwriter, and beautiful educator, Miss Keli Nicole Price.
And I have a session in 30 minutes, and I have to go.
Well, okay, sis, I got you. But sis, you know what? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So proud of you. I definitely want to honor you and everything you've done, and just been a beautiful light and beautiful joy on my platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also a huge compliment to you.
Oh, what?
You are doing a great job. You really are.
Aww.
You really, really are. I'm really like loving your platform.
Aww.
I really do. I love you. I love that there is a point of view, that you absolutely have something to say. There is a point. There is. I really love that, because there are a lot of lives and a lot of interviews that have they don't go anywhere.
Yeah. I know.
And it kind of shows like your discipline. And I really respect and appreciate your research.
Come on. Oh, thank you, Queen. Look, I have to make sure I be on it, because
like
y'all
you
ain't
were bringing stuff
killing
up
me.
that I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Like you have done the work, and I really respect and appreciate you. So just thank you for being all of that.
Yes, ma'am. I have to honor my Black queens and my Black kings on this platform.
You're doing it.
So,
You're doing it.
Thank you so much, sis. But God bless you from the bottom of my heart. You have a beautiful day and enjoy everything. And make sure you get with me, honey. Because like I said, if you do want to join this Boys Men vs. Jodeci, just let us know. We got you.
So play with it. If I'm not busy, I will be on live. I will be there.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know. But thank you so much. God bless you from the bottom of my heart, y'all. We are done with my beautiful interview with the one and only Miss Keli Nicole Price. Thank you so much. Bye.